Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be reviewing a very dark apocalyptic novel. I want to start off by mentioning it is not a kid's novel. I would never recommend it to anyone under 18. It's pretty dark and deals with a lot of just adult things. And it's actually Positive by David Wellington. It's a really great book, and I know the last one I recommended was a YA novel, but this one's definitely adult. It was super terrifying, and I'm just really excited to get into it because it had a really positive, like, overall there was a positive outlook, like there was hope, even okay, well, there are a lot of times where hope is not a thing, but I mean, that in the back of the character's mind there's a tiny, tiny little bit of hope, even if everyone around him isn't feeling it. So I'm going to read the front flap and then I'll get into it a little bit more. So it says, anyone can be positive. Years after a plague killed 99% of the population, turning them into infectious zombies, Finnegan and his family live in a barricaded New York City, safe from danger. But Finn's sheltered life fractures when his unsuspecting mother falls sick with the zombie virus. Latent inside her since before her son's birth, Finn too could be infected. At any time, the zombie virus could explode in his body, turning him from a rational human being into a ravenous monster. If he remains healthy for the last 2 years of the potential incubation period, he'll be cleared. Until then, he must be moved to a special faculty for positives, segregated to keep the healthy population safe. Tattooed with a plus sign on his hand that marks him as a positive, Finn is exiled from the city, but when martyrs kill the escorts sent to transport him, Finn must learn how to survive alone in an eerie, disintegrated landscape. To make it to safety, he must embark on a perilous cross-country journey across an America transformed, a dark and deadly land, populated with unlikely heroes, depraved villains, and murderous madmen, hordes of ravenous zombies, and though the zombies are everywhere, Finn discovers that the real danger is his fellow humans. It's a compelling coming-of-age story and riveting tale of suspense, filled with unforgettable characters and explosive action. Positive is an electrifying thriller that raises thoughtful questions about our own humanity. So, that was like a mouthful. That was a lot. But basically, it's just about this guy named Finnegan. He is living in New York City, what's left of it. The world has been taken over by zombies and horrible, like, cults and hordes of just bad people. So the government keeps a few cities safe and, like, feeds them and takes care of them. And the generation before him that saw the virus, like, take over are really terrified and scared, and they kind of just, like, live waiting to die. So they're not really living. They're just kind of, like, sitting around letting the government take care of them and just waiting for it to end. But his generation that was born during the crisis, they have a lot more hope for the future. They're still pretty dark. A lot of them are doing horrible things out in the world. But anyways, when he finds out that he might be infected and he has to go live in this world, it gets really crazy. The overall look of the book is pretty dark, but there is, as it says, a positive outlook. Especially as the book goes on, he really becomes his own person. Like, it is definitely a coming of age story. Like, I like how it took him a while to become, like, the person I wanted him to be, but he does. Like, this character goes through a huge change in this book. And I really, really loved it. And it wasn't just character oriented. Like, there was a great plot, a great story to go with it. It kind of reminded me of, like, I don't know, sometimes it reminded me of The Road, but maybe not quite as dark as that book if you've read that. But it definitely is a terrifying novel, and it deals with lots of really personal dark things. So if you have any triggers or anything related to, like, extreme violence, or, I mean, it does deal with rape and like, people healing from those types of things happening to them. So if that's not something you can read or get through, then definitely don't pick this up. But if you do enjoy apocalyptic novels and you're used to this, it's definitely a really good book, and it was worth the read, definitely. So it was hard to get through though. It took me forever to read it. That's one reason I haven't really made a video in a while. Also because I've been kind of sick. I don't know with what, but I've just been sick. So yeah, it's been a while since I've made a video, but I just wanted to come and kind of make a short video on this novel because it's kind of hard to say too much about it without just spoiling it. But I think it was worth the read. It made me, I don't know, it just really gave me an inside look to how people think when they're in these horrible situations. Um, and I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in this novel. There's like zombies, there's road pirates, which is way more terrifying than it sounds. It sounds terrifying, but in the book it's even more. Like, usually I don't get chills from reading apocalyptic books because I know it's fake, and like I know I'm not in the apocalypse, I'm fine. But like this gave me chills. Like, this was creepy. The road pirates were terrifying. I just imagined if I was in this situation, I would not survive. Like, it would be horrible. There's death cults. There's like this big religion of like worshiping the skeleton, which they're not really worshiping the skeleton, they're worshiping death. And people are like going by and killing other people and saying like this is part of the religion. We have to kill people to save other people, and it's like a big cult. And Finn really deals with that in a way that I love. This character he knows eventually how to deal with people like this. He does build a new world, and that's what it says on the cover. That zombies, road pirates, death cults, he had no choice but to build a new world, and he definitely does. I don't know, him and all the friends he meets along the way I love them all. I do wish I could have kind of gotten to know some of his friends a little bit better, because it's kind of like, I guess you don't really feel like you're part of the story, or I didn't, which is fine. Sometimes I did imagine, like, if I was in that situation, I have no idea what I would do, but I don't think it's something like you feel like you're really a part of the story, that you feel like you're one of his friends going along with him like I do in some books. I just kind of I felt like I was like looking behind a fence at all this happening, or looking down from like a helicopter at all this happening. So I feel like I could have gotten to know some of the characters a little bit better. But I mean, the plot had to move on. It's just one novel. There's not like a second one, I don't believe. So I do understand that. But I don't know, just some of the girls he meets along the way, I wish we could have gotten to know a little bit better. Some of the people he saved, some of his friends, I just wish that they had gone more in depth and I had gotten like, I don't know, just more time with them. So, I mean, that's really my only big complaint. Also, just I was not prepared for how like violent, I guess it was. Just emotional violence and physical violence. Not the physical as much, because I mean, I watched Walking Dead. Like, I've seen a lot of physical violence in movies. I've read a lot of it, and it's horrible. But the more like just emotional violence in this novel, just how people talk to each other was horrible. Obviously, it's the apocalypse, that's gonna happen, and I expected it, but not to this level. And just the way that, I don't know, they treated women in this novel is obviously disgusting. Just because it's the apocalypse and some women are treated very, very much like cattle, sort of. So just keep that in mind going into this, because I mean, it does deal with a lot of really dark stuff, and it gets better obviously for some of these women. Finn definitely isn't like a monster towards women or anything. Like, the main character he's a genuine good person. So know that there's hope in the novel. Throughout you can see hope in it. So that's really why I read novels like this, just because no matter how dark it gets, there's still some kind of light in all the madness. So I really enjoyed it, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about it and let you know what's up with it. So if you're thinking about picking it up, let me know. Tell me what you think about it or have thought about it if you've read it before. I hope I can see you in my next video. Thank you for coming by. I'm hoping my next video is going to be like a makeup video. I want to make myself look like a character, just for fun. So it might come with a book review too. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.